In Lesson 4, we're talking triangles. You need to know how to identify a triangle. I think you know how, but just to make sure, a triangle has 3 sides and is closed. If you need to label a triangle, you do so by putting capital letters at its 3 vertices. Vertices are just plural for vertex, and a vertex is where the 2 lines meet at a corner. So at the 3 corners of a triangle, you put a capital letter. Doesn't matter the order of the letters. When you're asked to name a triangle, you actually draw a little shape like a triangle, and then you put those 3 capital letters that you use to label the vertices. And again, it doesn't matter the order. We also use something called tick marks to show congruence. Congruence means they're equal. So if, for example, you have the same tick marks on 2 sides, they're trying to tell you that those 2 sides are the same length. Or if they have tick marks for angles, 2 angles, those 2 angles are the same size, the same measurement. We have, and I'll show you what those look like in just a moment. To classify a triangle by its sides, we have 3 choices. One is an equilateral. To be an equilateral triangle, all 3 sides must be the same measure. And if you were wanting to look at it as in regards to the tick marks, this is what it would look like. They would just draw a little dash line, and they would do it the same on all 3 sides, showing that all 3 sides are the same. If only 2 of the sides are the same, are congruent, then it's called an isosceles triangle. So for example, on this example, these 2 sides are the same. So they each would have the same tick mark. There wouldn't normally be a tick mark on the other side, but if they really wanted to, they could. They would just have to make it different. So for example, they might put 2 tick marks on that line to show that it's different than these 2. Then thirdly, we have scalene triangles. They have none of the sides are the same, so all 3 sides are different. Normally that would be shown with no tick marks to show you that none of them are the same. But just to get you used to what the tick marks look like, I'm going to show you what it might look like if they did tick marks. They might put 1 line here, 2 tick marks here, and 3 here to show you that each side is different. We can also classify a triangle by its angles, and you are often asked to do both. Classify an angle both by its sides and its angles. If a triangle has 1 right angle, remember that's that 90-degree angle that looks like a perfect little L. Normally they show that it's a 90-degree angle by putting a little square in the corner. Then it is a right triangle. It is an obtuse triangle if it has an obtuse angle. Again, it would only just be 1 angle. This angle here is an obtuse angle, so this is an obtuse triangle. And the third way to classify a triangle by its angles is if it is an acute triangle. Then all 3 of its angles would be acute angles. We have one more interesting fact about triangles. It doesn't matter what kind of triangle it is, whether it is an equilateral, an isosceles, a scalene, a right, obtuse, or an acute. If you add up all 3 angles of a triangle, they will always have a sum of 180 degrees. Pretty interesting. Let's talk about triangles.